Hey everybody, Charles Calhoun, aka the Shade Tree Pro, here at the beautiful Grand Vista Marriott in Orlando, Florida, where I own and operate my teaching business under the Shade Tree. Hey, it's loud, it's windy, it is what it is, but hey, you know what, it's a beautiful day, Saturday, go home, watch the Masters. But anyway, I'm gonna give you something here that I hear a lot of these teachers talk about. I see people who can't even really hit a golf ball that well, and I'm watching them, and and of course the conversation, oh, you got to get up here and you got to shallow the club, and y'all know that I can't stand even the concept of what it is because one, a lot of people don't even know what it really is, and number two, I don't think it really works because. Three, I don't think they're really doing it because one of the days we used to talk about back in the day, you got to be careful of laying the club off. In other words, getting it to this position in a sense because it can cause all kinds of different move compensations, everything. So what I'm going to talk to you today about is scap drop versus shallowing. And one of the reasons that I prefer my scap drop, definitely more anatomically and more to keep the club on plane in essence, is because, look, when you get up to the top of the swing and these guys go shallowing and they want to shallow the club, one of the first things, and I watched even good players do this, here at the range, what are you working on? Well, I'm getting the club shallowing. And this is what they do first. They get up here like this and they don't drop. What they do is they basically just drop the hands, in a sense, shallowing. You got to get that club shallow because, like I said, sometimes instead of taking an aspirin, they take the whole bottle and it gets them in trouble. Now, one of the biggest problems that I have, let me get my alignment stick. Now, one of the biggest issues that I have when they talk to people about shallowing the club is this butt end of the club. And I'm going to talk about some unique things, in my membership about that butt end of the club and how to use your visualization. Now, one of the things that I don't like about the whole concept of shallowing the club is that when I get up here, let's say I'm on a good plane, I got this hand stacked over top. Now when I shallow the club, as they call it, now look, even if I drop here and shallow the club, look where the butt end of that club is pointing. It's pointing way above the ball. Now that takes it off plane, and guess what? The hands don't want to continue to go here because that'll lead all kinds of things. But when I shallow the club and that butt end goes there, shallow the club, and that butt end goes there, then all of a sudden, guess what? The only way that I can get that to really come back the right way, it's got to come back in. You see what I mean? So it's kind of like a little bit of throwing over, which is what shallowing is supposed to stop you from doing. But actually, my personal opinion and my own studies of it, I think it leads you to doing it unless you do something to really get yourself under. And that in itself can cause all kinds of different problems. So that's one of the main reasons that I do not like shallowing, because and we're just talking about the butt end of the club, when I get up here and I got those hands, I talked about a video about the trail hand stacked over top of the lead hand, I want to feel scap drop, because if I feel scap drop, guess what? Notice where that butt end of that club or the extension of the butt end of that club is. It's still there, and then from there, boom, I could just go under. Now, I'm not shallowing anything. Only thing I'm doing is bringing the club down to either I could tip it over this way or I could just drop it up under this way. And all I'm doing with scap down is basically, on my scap drop, I'm getting up here. I'm feeling, I'm going to hit this one easy. And I'm coming scap drop, and then I'm just dropping it just underneath. And it's one continuous motion. Scap drop and drop it underneath. And that's where, again, a lot of people get in trouble because they're sitting there and they listen to these things. And I had a guy that I asked him, I said, show me shallowing. And I ain't gonna call his name out, but he couldn't hit the ball worth a shit. I'll be honest. He was hitting them off the hosel. and saying, well, I'm just working on it, just trying to get it, and I'm just really starting with it. Well, you was talking about how good it was, and the thing is, they just see people talking about it. These science people talking about it, but it's. Let me tell you what, it causes more harm than good. And I think I gave a great demonstration when I'm using this club here and I'm putting this extension there, that when I get up to the top of this swing, I'm already on plane on here. If I take this club and any movement that I make going that way, that's getting outside of that. And then all of a sudden, because of action reaction, it's not going to stay on here unless I make some move to where I come down here and then I rotate my body around, which is not what we're trying to do. We're trying to make the swing as efficient as possible, simple as possible, and make it a trigger, reaction, reaction, reaction. So when I get up here and I can keep this butt of this club, whether you got the butt of the club pointing at the ball or you got it pointing inside the ball, personally, because if you look at the club face, it's here, and if you look at the butt, even at the center, the butt of the club is inside the center of the club face. So personally, I like to feel like when I'm coming down here, I like to feel like the butt end of the club is slightly inside the ball, and then I can just drop that thing up, just drop it under. In other words, just drop it under. And what I mean by drop it under is this, is that here's my hands and the club face. When I'm stacking it up here, the club is above my hands, and then what I mean when I'm dropping it under, boom, I'm just dropping it under my hands, So I sit there, scat drop, and there it is. And people, that's why, without a question in my mind, that's why when it comes to shallow versus scap drop is absolutely superior. It never takes the club off the plane. It's definitely anatomically sound, and it just allows the body to move in one continuous motion. And it definitely beats the sensation of when you coming up from the ground and you're trying to drop this in essence. It still doesn't change the simple fact that the club goes up in the air, it comes back down, it strikes the ball, and it goes back up. And that's why, without a question in my mind, and if anybody want to challenge me on it, I'm here at the Marriott Grand Vista in Orlando, Florida. I just put my video up telling you why I do not like shallowing. I don't even like the word. I do not think it's something that's really happening. I think it's made up for compensation in a sense because of so many people who start from the ground and spin their hips, and they got to find a way to drop the club in to get there, because if they do it the normal way, and in essence, and they spin their hips and they don't lay the club off or get it trapped there behind you, then all of a sudden they'll stick it in the ground, they'll hit it off the hosel, they'll do all kinds of things. But once again, when you just do it simply, like top down, scap drop, when you scap drop, that club is going to stay, that butt end to club, it's going to stay inside the ball, and then all from there, all you have to do is just drop the hands underneath, drop the club head underneath the hands. And you can sit there, you can do it simple, slow, just plain and simple, easy shots, scap drop, the hands underneath, club underneath, scap drop, hands underneath. And those are just simple and easy swings. Hey, this is Charles Calhoun, aka the SHADETREE Pro. Listen, people, it's only a few more days. My book is out of my editor's hand. Now Amazon is setting it up. Hey, what's going to happen here is that my paperback book is going to be, it's going to be available in paperback book. It's also going to be available in hard copy. The hard copy, oh, it looks so good. And the thing is that the book, like I said, is going to be available on Amazon. I definitely want you to check that out. It's like I say, I'll still make that big announcement the day when they say, hey, it's a go. But Amazon says it takes about 3 days for them to get everything uploaded. I think they do like some test prints just to make sure that everything prints out so they can compute it and get it right. And then all of a sudden it's just book after book. But it's a great book, like I said, full color, full illustrations, talks a lot about, you know, just ideas, just, you know, but it don't get away from that simple principle that I just showed you, that when the scap goes up, the scap comes down, and all you're doing is dropping and swinging the club underneath the hands. It don't get away from that principle. And I think you all will enjoy that book. It's 208 pages, it's 7 by 10. And like I said, it's just a great book. And I spent a lot of time explaining some nice things, but it's just, like I said, like Harvey Pennick's Maxims. You know, it's just give you things to look at, give you things to think about when you're using the three bodies: upper body, middle body, lower body, the dead fingers grip, the use of the middle wrist, the scap up, the scap down, you know, from top down. That's what that book will do for you. And like I said, if you follow those basic principles, you will improve your game. And if you really want to improve your game, come see me here at the Marriott Grand Vista in Orlando, Florida. Go to SHADETREEPRO.com. My number is right there on the front. Reach out to me, set up a lesson, and we'll get things started. Hey, something else I'm going to be doing here soon. I'm actually going to do a few live videos. I've been, you know, practicing around a little bit with those, and, you know, they're kind of fun. But, you know, like me, with anything else, I want to be able to do it the best way that I possibly can. So put a little practice in, see how it goes, and then, like I said, I'll bring it all to you. Hey, this is Charles Calhoun, a.k.a. the Shade Tree Pro. Once again, I'm here at the beautiful Grand Vista Marriott in Orlando, Florida. People, you all have a blessed day, and you know how I do it, baby. Always good golfing.